So the House gives bipartisan approval to a $900 billion defense bill. The legislation codifies President Trump's agenda, much of it, but includes a few measures challenging his policies and insisting on more consultation with Congress. The House on Wednesday approved a $900 billion defense bill, but we cannot afford health insurance for our own citizens. I'm so sorry, because if you had health insurance, if you felt better, if you were healthier, we couldn't unload all the poison food we're producing and selling to you on a daily basis, because it's like fractions of a 1 cent to produce, but we charge you $8 a bag. So we can't stop that. This is capitalism run amok. Nobody should have billions and billions of dollars. They need to be taxed out of existence. The 312 to a 112 vote on the legislation, which would provide a 3.8% pay raise to the troops, yes, I like that, reflected a bipartisan support for what is commonly regarded as a must-pass bill. It goes next to the Senate, which is also expected to approve it overwhelmingly, sending it to Felon 47 for his signature. The measure includes an array of provisions that place Felon 47's stamp on the U.S. military, including one that bans diversity, equity, and inclusion programs at the Defense Department. Because merit is what's important, right? I mean, merit would mean having experience, being a professional in that field, knowing about that thing. You know what the fuck I mean. But to bring it up, House Republicans had to overcome resistance in their own ranks from hard right members, some of whom said the measure, which seeks to block U.S. troops from withdrawing from Europe and would send new aid to Ukraine, abandoned the president's America First promises. Abandoned those long ago. You didn't notice? You didn't notice that he abandoned the America First? Guys, it's a slogan, okay? You are a marketing scheme. Congratulations. The legislation also reflected growing frustration among members of both parties with the way Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has run the Pentagon, especially when it comes to the administration's boat strikes in international waters, which have murdered at least 87 people since September. I said murdered, not the New York Times. Here we go. America First promises, man. A long time ago, y'all. He abandoned those just long ago. You didn't know for sure, when he came into office, fucking started his tariff war, Great Depression day. Every single country, even the fucking penguins got some. You didn't know then? Only 2 places that didn't get tariffs. Yeah, one was Russia. How did you not know then? And if you didn't know then, totally captured, totally compromised, totally a national security risk. If you didn't know then, how? And he actually rolled out a red carpet. Alaska, which used to belong to Russia, which they want back. They want to put together the USSR. I know he's messaged and he's made Putin seem like he's a buddy. Dog walking on. That is mandate the Defense Department send Congress unedited videos that have officially so far been unwilling to show lawmakers of the maritime attacks, which Mr. Trump has said are being undertaken to target narco-terrorists trafficking drugs into the United States. But except for that they're not. And some of the boats that they bombed were going in the other direction. They weren't even coming into the United States, not even going the same direction. They're not. Blew them up anyway. The boat porn, the snuff films that the administration has been putting out, they just have that one captured picture of the boat. You can't tell what direction they're going in. But there's reporting coming out. Some of them are going in the wrong direction. You can't defend these attacks. They are murders. Who is going to arrest Pete Hegseth? That's what happens when you murder someone. And I feel so sorry for all the military officers underneath him. I mean, I can totally see him just losing his fucking mind. See, when somebody said, "No, sir, you can't do that." "Oh, you can. You better fucking do it. You better fucking," with his face all red because he's been, day drinking since, 6 a.m. and, probably got a little bit of a headache and he's, out on the salty ocean and probably feeling a little bit crabby and doesn't like it. He wants to play his fucking, Call of Duty Colonialism Edition. Just do it, fucking do it. All those officers that were involved in that chain of command, they're all fucked. It just sucks. But who's going to go and arrest Pete Hegseth? So the price tag for this bill came to $8 billion above what the Trump administration had requested, reflecting continued support in Congress for pouring huge sums into the military. Leaders of the House and Senate Armed Services Committee said the bill would modernize and streamline the way military buys weapons and supplies. White House officials argued in a statement that it would strengthen the defense industrial base while eliminating funding for wasteful and radical programs. He thinks that radical is just letting people be who they are. He doesn't think the radical part is policing people's bedrooms, policing and controlling who they can marry and can't marry on a piece of paper. We're still going to be together. We're still going to be married. We're still going to perform our own fucking services. Just so bigoted. You're so fearful of anything you don't understand. It's fear. You are terrified. I think that Pete Hegseth forced them, ordered them, and probably screamed and stomped his feet like the fucking big baby he is until they did it. And they're fucked. Legislation also challenged parts of Felon 47's agenda. The bill would block the Pentagon from reducing the number of troops permanently stationed or deployed to Europe below 76,000 for longer than 45 days, unless Mr. Hegseth, at the very top of officer overseeing the U.S. European Command, certified to Congress that such a drawdown aligns with U.S. national security interests and that NATO allies were consulted. Well, I'm kind of worried about what the national security interests, the big statement he just put out the other day, because we don't seem to be aligned with Europe anymore. We're not aligned with Europe anymore. We're now against Europe, against NATO, and aligned with, guess who? I know, you're not going to believe this, right? Just hold up. Seriously, you're not going to fucking believe this. Vladimir Putin. I know. Oh my God. Just crazy, gosh. And even though he pressed to end military support to Ukraine, the measure would authorize $400 million in annual security assistance for Kyiv for another 2 years. A handful of House Republicans, including MTG of Georgia, cited that the provision in explaining her opposition to the bill. She said, I would love to fund our military, but refuse to support foreign aid and foreign militaries and foreign wars, she wrote on social media. So they also want to fuck with the in vitro fertilization plans for troops. They want to do that too. So I don't want to leave that out. That's part of this. They're changing a lot of things within the military. I'm not sure if they're going to get any more people that want to serve their country. They're just going to get people who want to harm brown people. That's what I think. You should see their recruitment videos. I dare you to watch them. It's 1930s Germany.